Alrighty team, our heel elevated hip thrust, bilateral or both feet movement. So with the heel elevated hip thrust, guys, I know you're going to hear the word hip thrust and think glute. However, in this exercise, we are actually focusing on the hamstrings. That's not to say I want you to forget about the glutes. They are super important, especially our posterior tilt in the hips. That still remains very important. However, there are a couple key components with this that we want to focus on in terms of our cueing and setup. That is going to help us hit those hamstrings, really target them, but still also work the glutes. So first of all, our setup position. We want to make sure that we're not at 90 degrees. So as you can see here, when I place the feet up, you can see my upper part of my legs, my quads and hammies, they're running up sort of on that 45 degree. From there, you'll see my feet, they're pointing straight up to the roof. The reason for this is we want to hit all of our hamstrings. So our bicep femoris, which is the bigger part of our hamstring, and then our semimembranosus and our semitendinosus, which is the inner part of the hamstrings. So if we drop those feet out to the side, there's a good chance that we're just going to get a lot more bicep of that hamstring. So making sure that we're always keeping those toes up. From there, my elbows come out on that 45. I'm not pushing through them. I'm just stabilizing with them. So they're acting there to keep my lats on. They're in that position to make sure that my torso is in that good position. Now, from here, I'm doing my standard hip thrust. I'm squeezing my glutes, driving the hips straight up, making sure I'm in that posterior tilt, coming back down. The whole time I'm keeping that core locked on, nice and tight, and I'm focusing on pointing those toes up to the roof. And I'm starting to feel those hamstrings kick on already. So that is our heel elevated hip thrust, bilateral movement, okay? As I said, you can also do this in a unilateral or single leg movement. It hits or it targets the hamstring a lot more, and you're also going to find out if you have an asymmetry, so if one side's stronger than the other. So if you'd like to see that, I'm going to attach it just here where you can get it and watch it. This is a great movement, guys. This is the regressed version with both feet. So if you do find that pretty easy, it is probably a good sign to say progress to the unilateral movement or single leg movement of the heel elevated hip thrusts.